my audience, and welcome to Expendable News. Today's emission will be a very special one because we have a special guest, and she'll be interviewed by our partners, the Arturos, in a moment.
So well, present to the story of young American hikers arrested in Iran.
A year ago approximately, young American hikers were hiking along the border between Iraq and Iran, when suddenly our Iran policemen came and arrested these hikers. They were accused of being spies and crossing the border illegally.
But there are witnesses claiming that these hikers did not cross the border. It was the Iran police that did that.
But, oh please, why will the Iranian police will cross the border to accuse these hikers?
Because the Iranians think they are spies.
So, the Iranians think these Americans are spies?
Yes, because there are suspects.
But there are no proofs of them being spies. Right?
I think.
Well, anyway, I think it's that Iran is starting to feel that little feeling of fear and paranoia of being watched.
Conflict, please, conflict.
They think they're being watched by all the other countries because those countries, and especially the United States, they think that Iran has cruel intentions with that nuclear program, that they might build nuclear weapons. And some the feeling of fear, paranoia, and these American hikers that are arrested, these are very valid reasons to give to the Americans to invade Iran. I mean, right?
Maybe. Because the Iranians are good or bad. I don't know.
We don't know.
It's conflict, this problem, this conflict, please.
The Iranians are not giving a good image about themselves to the rest of the world, and especially the Americans. The Americans are the most paranoid ones. And you know the story of the Americans in Iraq and their violent past. So, Iran, please be careful with your actions and what you're saying. And you know, the trial for these hikers is around November, so that we know what will the Iranian law will do with them. But we hope that they can return safely to their home, and may the best of luck be with them. So, in related news, remember what we said about last emission, that Lady Ashton wanted to resume the nuclear program talks with the Iranian officials? Well, yes. After 2 weeks, the Iranian officials have finally agreed to resume the talks. Yay! Finally! Now we can have many doubts cleared up. Or more messed up. I don't know. We'll just see in the talk.
It's all the problem. All the problem.
All problems. But we hope today will be cleared up. We just hope for the mid-November nuclear program talks. Now, let's hear that interview with our partners, the Arturos.
Thanks, girls. Yes, as you said, we are on a distance interview with Mrs. Hillary Clinton. Hello, Mrs. Clinton.
Hey, thank you for being here. We're so happy to have you with us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Well, Mrs. Clinton, we already know about Mr. Netanyahu's slowdown of the freeze that happened on September 26th this year. Do you believe that you can get him, convince him to slow down the building of settlements in Palestinian land a little bit more?
Well, that certainly is our hope. Now, we've also said that we'll support an agreement that is reached between the parties. It took a lot of political capital for Prime Minister Netanyahu to achieve this moratorium. It had never been done before, and I think, gave him credit for it about a year ago here in Jerusalem. At the same time, it's been in effect for the time that it was set for, and the talks are just starting. So we are working hard to make sure there remains a conducive atmosphere to constructive talks.
So, which side do you think is putting more effort to these peace settlements?
I think both are. Israel today is under tremendous security pressure, and they can look over the horizon and see even more when you've got a country like Iran standing by saying, we want to wipe you from the face of the earth and annihilate you. I mean, that does concentrate your mind. And on the Palestinian side, we've been down this road. We're trying to build our own institutions of a new state. Can we really afford to not do it?
So, Mrs. Clinton, can you please tell us what do you think will happen now that the freeze is over?
We don't want either party to leave these negotiations or to do anything that causes the other to leave the negotiations.
So do you believe you have convinced skeptics like the foreign minister of Palestine that this is the right solution?
I don't claim to convince someone whose views are very different from that position. I think that he and many Israelis are quite skeptical, just as many Palestinians are quite skeptical. But I ask them, what's the alternative? I mean, what is the alternative?
So, Mrs. Clinton, thank you very much. But before we leave, there's one question that I must ask, and I just can't stand it. It's like doing this in my mind, yeah, what do you think about your husband's affair, love affair during his time as president? What do you think of it? Miss Clinton? Miss Clinton?
It was a joke.
Calm down.
It seriously was a joke. We respect you very much, and we thank you very much for being here with us, and we appreciate very, very much what you've said to us, what you've told us, and we're happy to have you here, and we hope you come over soon.